Hello there guys, welcome back to another video. There really is no rest for the wicked. Manchester City welcome Southampton tomorrow to the Etihad Stadium in a big game to try and get back on track after that very disappointing, and I'm still hurting, genuinely very disappointing Derby Day defeat to Manchester United. But ultimately, that game won't matter one bit if we win tomorrow. It'll feel good. We'll feel good again. Before I do that though, before I get into the team news and the lineups and all that kind of stuff, I want you all to watch this clip over on Super 6's new Hold the L show of me absolutely slaying it and saying why Haaland should come to Manchester City. I mean, obviously he's got the connections with United with Solskjaer a little bit, but his dad literally captained Manchester City. He literally has photos of him wearing Manchester City shirts as a kid, literally training in Man City shirts. I've seen him wear a Balotelli shirt. You know, literally, he is that much of a supporter of Manchester City Football Club. And he gets the chance to replace, potentially, one of the greatest strikers of all time in Sergio Aguero. It's like there's a slot ready there for him. He gets to play with possibly the best passer in world football in Kevin De Bruyne, alongside potentially some of the best wingers in world football and some of the best midfielders in world football, for a squad actually crying out for a new, fresh face up front. It makes so much sense in every single sense of the word. Even gets to manage. I mean, even if you don't rate Guardiola, you can't deny that he's a world-class coach, and we've got a world-class squad. And we are currently, even despite the Derby defeat, and I'm still hurting from that, we are currently still the best team in the league. We are probably going to win the league. We're probably going to win a whole bunch of trophies. So trophies. Gets paid well. The fact that he supports City, the fact that he gets to play with Aguero, the fact that he gets to play with Guardiola, De Bruyne, Gundogan, Bernardo, Foden, Mahrez. You couldn't have more chances created for him. It makes so much sense in every single way that I don't even know what more to say. I'm sorry, could I do a better job of arguing Haaland to Manchester City? It makes so much sense. Go watch the full video in the link in the description. Every single week there'll be a new episode, and this week I'm arguing for Manchester City. Go and tell Akeem why Man United is a terrible idea. He genuinely thinks it's a better idea than Manchester City. Get in the comments in that video, give the video a like, and then vote for Akeem to hold the L and not me. Make sure don't lose it this week as well. Go and support that show over on Super 6's new channel. It's good fun to be involved in that. And personally, I think I'm talking so much sense. It has to be Manchester City. It makes so much sense in every single way that I'd be surprised if he chose anyone else. Liverpool maybe, but Manchester City, come on. It makes so much sense, doesn't it? Anyway, I'd love to sit here and talk about Haaland all day, but we got a preview to go through. I'm going to start now with the overview because obviously this is a big game. It's a chance once again to get back on track, and the reason this game is important is because it shows whether that loss against United was just a small blip that we forget about, a little tiny bump on an otherwise smooth road to yet another Premier League title, or is it something to actually genuinely worry about? If we win tomorrow, all of a sudden we've got 22 wins out of the last 23. That one defeat doesn't mean anything anymore. It means something emotionally, of course, but in the grand scheme of things, ultimately, it won't matter a single jot. And United, given their tough run of games as well, in the way that we've got some tough games, will probably feel a little bit demoralised that it won't mean anything in the bigger picture. So it's big. It's actually big tomorrow that City win this game and find a way to win it, because we really can't show a new side of a potential fall. We really can't show anything to be concerned about. That can be a one-off, but we can't make it a common occurrence. So hopefully this is a big game. And Guardiola was asked about the reaction to the Derby Day defeat in training, and he said, and quote, a mixture of disappointment and sadness, and at the same time the second day was better, and today we're completely on fire. So I guess he said second day after the game we felt a bit better, and today, which was obviously earlier today, we were completely on fire. He went on to say it's a normal process when you lose the games. The reaction is common. I didn't watch the game back. Maybe we'll play them in the FA Cup, but if not, it will be next season. I love to think this next bit is a dig, but it isn't. He's staying facts there, but it sounds like a dig. He said, we're in the Champions League and them in the Europa League. We have played each other twice in the Premier League. I didn't watch it because I don't have time to watch it, which is interesting. He is that busy, to be fair to him. No watching back of the game. I'm sure his coaching staff would have showed him some clips of things that they thought were notable, but he's simply right. He's simply right that we just have to move on, unfortunately. He was also asked about United being in the title race, and he went, of course, when the option is open, anything can happen. Nobody thought we'd do 21 games in a row, so anything can happen. United can do it. We have to win 6-7 games to be champions mathematically. It's only 6 or 7 games, which when you look on paper, it's very doable for this City side. And of course, we'd have to win every single game basically to catch us, but don't give them any hope. Now, Guardiola was also asked about Southampton being beaten 9-0 in consecutive seasons, and quite pithily he said, we will score 18. And he basically was mocking them, basically. He was saying, like, well, just because they lost 9-0 twice, what do you think we're going to score 18 goals? And he's absolutely spot on to point out that that doesn't mean anything, really, in the grand scheme of things anymore. That was a freak result, and we can't expect it to be an easy game. He said, we are going to try and win the game. That will be a success for us. And he's right to focus just on the challenge and not look at Southampton's previous form and all that kind of stuff, because this game is a big one. In terms of the team news, well, we know Nathan Aki, baby. Nathan Aki. Whoa, I can't help it. It's a condition I've got now that if I hear his name, I have to sing that song. Anyway, we do know that he'll be back potentially in the squad, hopefully. He's back in full training now. He could come back onto the bench, which means someone like Mendy and Garcia could miss out, which is bad for them, but it's good for Nathan Ake. Either way, he was asked about Aguero and Foden potentially starting tomorrow, to which he had to say, maybe I will decide tomorrow. I have an idea in general of the guys who will play, but I have a few doubts. Tomorrow I will decide, which is interesting. He doesn't even know yet. Having said that, it doesn't make it any easier for me in terms of the lineup. Now, of course, we know it's never easy predicting a lineup. I do think as a result of the game the other day, and as a result of Manchester City making some changes, we'll see a few in general here. Ederson is obviously going to start in goal. That's a given. Ederson will be there. And then into the defence, I think we will see a few changes here. Now, my only concern about the changes, by the way, is that I do think he's trying to keep everyone fit and happy and all that kind of stuff. And Laporte's played a little bit, and Walker's come in, and Cancelo and Zinchenko, and everyone's rotating around a little bit. I do think it has made us slightly more susceptible to conceding goals. I mean, familiarity is a thing. Players play often, they get form, and I do believe that rotating a little bit has lost a little bit of that, defensive stability. We're still very good, don't get me wrong, and maybe it's a necessary evil, but I do think there is an element of all this rotation will eventually affect consistency. Hopefully he gets it right, and we have been getting it right, broadly speaking, but I do see signs occasionally recently of us not being perfect in the way that we were for some time. Either way, I'm sure the defence tomorrow will have more than enough. And this defence that I'm about to name is a very good defence. I mean, I think Kyle Walker will stay. He played great against Wolves. He dropped out the other day. We looked defensively a bit weak. So I think Kyle Walker will come in. And I actually can see, personally, Diaz getting a rare rest in this game. I can see Stones and Laporte playing alongside each other. Just my gut instincts. Stones was very good the other day, and Diaz rarely gets a rest, and I can see Laporte coming back into the side. So Stones and Laporte, and for me at left back, I reckon it'll be Cancelo. Cancelo will play at left back, I think. He often does play at left back when Laporte, a left footer, plays in defence as well, because obviously they'll shift. So you got basically a back three of Walker, Stones, and Laporte, with Cancelo going anywhere he wants, because Laporte's left foot makes a lot of sense on that side. So we've often seen when Laporte plays, Cancelo often plays at left back, and it makes a lot of sense that. I reckon in midfield, we're going to see Fernandinho get his game. We know Guardiola's talked a few times about Fernandinho not being able to play every single game, and I think this is a good example of the games he will come into, with Rodri dropping this one out. And I thought hard about this midfield. Now, I actually think De Bruyne will play this game, but I think he'll play on the left side of the midfield with Bernardo kind of on the right, which does mean Gundogan potentially dropping out, and I'll get onto why in a minute, really. There's no real big reason, actually. It's just more that I think he'll play De Bruyne still. Even though De Bruyne was pretty gash the other day, I can't defend that. I do think he's going to try and play him into form, which kind of makes sense. It's tough on Gundogan, but I think we've seen enough to suggest the other day that, well, not enough to maybe form an idea, a theory that Gundogan and De Bruyne was a bit, wasn't fully sure together. But I think it'll be Bernardo and De Bruyne. Then ahead of them, just behind the striker, whoever that's going to be, and I'll get onto that in a second, I reckon we'll see Sterling over on the right with Foden coming back in on the left. I think Foden will play this game because he had a good little bright cameo, and the other day we were crying out for Foden, genuinely crying out for him. We really needed him on the pitch. Didn't get on, but I think Foden will play this game almost certainly. And then my surprise through the middle is that I think Sergio Aguero will get a start. Now, there's no guarantee, of course, but I think Aguero will start this through the middle like he did against West Ham, because Jesus had a stinker the other day. I like Jesus as a footballer, but he had a stinker, and we have been missing some big chances. So I think we could see Aguero. I did ponder the idea of De Bruyne as a false nine and Gundogan maybe playing there, or even Ferran Torres getting a chance either out wide or through the middle. But I think Aguero will get a chance. It could be that I'm wrong. It could be that Mahrez plays and Jesus plays and Gundogan plays and Rodri plays and Sterling just plays on the left as per usual. But I do think we'll see a few changes. Hopefully those changes won't mess us up. Let me know down in the comments your predicted 11. This is not what I would do, but by the way, it's what I think Guardiola would do. Always remember that. So I'm not trying to guess what my team, I'm trying to guess Guardiola's team. In terms of the opposition view, well, it's been a weird time for Southampton. They've let me get the results up because I've just closed the tab by accident. Their form has been pretty poor. Now, they did win the other day against against Sheffield United, won 2-0. But before that, they'd lost an awful lot of games in a row, genuinely. It was a really, really poor run of form. Now, let's have a look. They did beat Liverpool at the start of January 1-0. But we know now that that's not really a big deal. Sorry, Liverpool. But, I mean, it's impressive either way. But then after that, in the league only, they lost to Leicester 2-0. They lost to Southampton, Arsenal, 3-1. They lost to Aston Villa 1-0. They lost to United 9-0, which is a proper kick in the teeth. They lost to Newcastle 3-2. They did beat Wolves in the FA Cup, but then they lost to Wolves in the league 2-1. Then eventually they got a good draw, admittedly, against Chelsea 1-1. But then they got battered the next game 3 days later against Leeds 3-0. Lost to Everton. But finally they got a victory against Sheffield United. So their form has been really, really, really poor. They're currently sat down in 14th. They're a good side, obviously, with some good players, but they aren't in good form at the moment. And they are missing their key man as well. Danny Ings went off the other day against Sheffield United, limped off early. Even though they won, he did go out, and he's probably set for another spell on the sidelines, which is, you can't really get a break sometimes, Danny Ings. But either way, Che Adams came on and did really well, apparently, alongside Nathan Tella. So I'm expecting those two will probably line up. And we know Southampton, when they're at the best, are a good side. They've got good fullbacks who have energy and desire to get forward in Kyle Walker-Peters and Ryan Bertrand. Good players, and obviously they've got the likes of Maitland-Niles as well, who could maybe get involved. Bednarak, Vestergaard, they've got some decent players, and of course the midfield. Ward-Prowse is a fantastic player who can do good things, and Minamino as well, obviously on loan from Liverpool. Not sure if he's available. I think he is available. But either way, he's a good player. And they have got a good squad with players that can do some damage if we give them the chance to. Even if they aren't in good form, we've got to be careful around Southampton. Which leads me to my prediction. Now, I'm hoping this Manchester City side, I'm not expecting them to blow Southampton away, but I do think we should win this game. And I do think we need to see a reaction after that, just to allay any fears. And don't give United any hope, basically. Go against United and come out, and hopefully we're going to see a 3-0 victory. Now, my camera's about to go flat, so if it does, I've ended the video here. But I think hopefully I'm going to see a 3-0 with a good. Camera went flat, as I said, it was a second later, but I'm carrying on finishing this, just recording using my webcam, and so it's not quite as good. But anyway, as I was saying, I'm hoping this Manchester City side show up and basically put our fears to rest, that this game was just a one-off. Genuinely show to the rest of the league that we've got nothing to worry about here, that this was just genuinely the one-off, and we are still this Manchester City side capable of brilliance. We really need to show that, and I've got no doubts that we will turn up and do that, because this City side is, of course, very, very good, and we've got the players to do it, and hopefully Pep gets his spot on. He gets it right pretty much always, if we're being honest. But the other day it wasn't a good day. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. I've been using a new mic. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it yet, but let me know down in the comments if it sounds good. I've not heard it yet myself. Fingers crossed it does. Thank you for watching this video, and big love to all the patrons who keep this channel going. Thank you so much to my patron producer Ahmed Al Ali, who's in the highest tier. What an absolute hero. Patreon.com/Esteemed Company if you want to help support the channel a little bit. If not, just give this video a like and hit the subscribe button, and go and click this video on screen right now with Super 6. Watch that video. Show me some love in the comments. Help support me so I don't get the L this week on the whole DL show. Go and vote for Akeem. His argument was nonsense, absolute nonsense. But anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for a watch along. Big love, guys.